Hello, this is the base for the Scammell Commander that's with a 62 tonne Crane Fruehauf trailer. As you can see, it's all finished. There's a lot of pictures after this. It's a very short video and then a flip card of pictures to show how I went and did it. But basically, I've got a piece of 6x2 pine, softwood, as you can see. I've then built 2 layers of foam board, which is the 3mm paper board with foam in the middle, 2 pieces of paper sandwiching a little bit of 2mm foam. That comes out about 3mm. You can just see it on the edges there. Yeah, and that is cut in a zigzag fashion all the way along, so that it gives this effect here. I'll lift the camera up in a second or two. What I've also done is, onto that I've glued that foam board onto the piece of 6x1. I've then glued roofing felt, shed roofing felt if you like. I don't know what they call it anywhere else in the world, but that's what they call it here. And I'll lift that up a little bit. Yeah, it's roofing felt, the stuff you'd put on your shed roof basically. And it's got just the right, I think anyway, just the right grain to simulate a well-worn tarmac road, tarmac macadam if you prefer. I've torn it up to get all these cracks. What I wanted was to have a battered old road that they were using and parking up on, and I think I've got that. It doesn't look new, does it? So, pieces of roofing felt, I've glued those down again with PVA. I've then taken some gravel, some very fine gravel. My clumpy fingers are in the way there, aren't they? Some clumpy gravel. I did it in 3 layers actually. Put a layer down, then poured PVA over it. PVA mixed 50-50 with water. Then put another load down, then put another load down. As you can see, I've put a broken pipe in there, which is basically a cardboard straw type thing, and I've pulled a hole in it and I've left a large divot in front of that pipe where I put the stones. I've then mixed up some resin, acrylic resin, with the stuff that's 2 parts, 50-50, and put a little bit of brown paint in it, and then poured it into there, and I think that represents quite well some muddy water. You can just about see the stones underneath it, which is what I wanted really. Never tried water before, but there you go, we'll see how it goes. I think it's alright. I've then put more stones on the top and glued them down. The way to glue them down, I don't know if you've ever done it before, if you spray a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, over the top of the stones, it breaks the surface tension, and then if you use a dripper bottle or pipette, whichever you prefer, and then let the glue drip out and it'll run right through it and stick them. That's why I did it in 3 layers, so that it's not massively thick, otherwise you end up with glue running all down the side of the base. What have I done? I've put some more in here, stones in here, so if this is the road bed with those huge cracks in there, you'd see the road bed underneath it. On this end here, let's spin this around, I've built up some polystyrene. You can see, just stick a knife in it, away it goes, and built that up and made like a hillock if you like. Okay, I then painted that a dark green, NATO green with a bit of black in it basically, so that when I sprinkled the grass on it, it looks more natural. Did the same here, painted that NATO green with a little bit of black in it. So if you 4 drops of NATO green and 1 of black seem to do it. Painted that up along there, and then again I'll put these photographs at the end of this video. This I had to buy. I tried making my own out of a ball of string, cutting it up into 6mm lengths, dyeing it green. Total disaster. Yeah, £4 and I've got enough there to turf the garden. So if you want my advice, I would buy it rather than try and make your own. This beastie, however, I've got the top on it now. I've got to trim the glue off and make it look a bit prettier. But basically, it's a little MDF box that I've knocked together. A Tupperware pot, 9-volt battery here, and when you turn it on, this turns into a static grass applicator. You can just see the light on there, I think. Yeah, it comes on. That's so I don't give myself a shock. I have a heart condition, it wouldn't do me much good. And basically what it consists of is a high voltage wire that goes into the applicator itself. Cut out the top and put a piece of fine mesh in there. This sticks into wherever you want to apply your grass, and then you just shake it when it's turned on and the grass falls out on top of it. And the static electricity that it creates causes the grass to stand up. I might be able to show you that. Yeah, that comes out pretty well, doesn't it? Yeah, you can see that on the video there. Causing the grass to stand up, which looks a lot more realistic than sprinkling it on and hoping that it looks real. Put a couple of little bits on the edge of the road, here. That is about that. That's easy enough. This, I wasn't prepared to pay a crazy price for it. So basically an A4 sheet of 2mm MDF. As I say, I've got to trim the glue off and the edges off there yet. £2 for the pot. I had all the wires and the battery connectors. I had to buy a negative ion generator, which is something they use in air purifiers and in air conditioning units. It's only a little unit, it sits in there like that there. As I say, there are some photographs of it, and I'm quite happy to give you the details of the parts if you want them. A switch and a light, a resistor. I bet it didn't cost £5 to do the whole thing, and that's that. Some of the ones that you can buy them for 25 and £30, made out of a fly swatter basically. Personally, I don't like the idea of being electrocuted, so I thought I'll make one of my own. I know it's safe then. So any questions with that, please feel free to ask. Any questions with this, please feel free to ask, and I'll only be too happy to answer them. Speak soon. Ta-da!